Hello everyone, T-Man978. Today we're going to be reviewing Transformers Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen. Chromia, Arcee, and Elita 1.
T-Man978 Chill Review.
I didn't realize it, but I put them in that order. Isn't that amazing? Here is their artwork right there. I guess they kind of did put these in order. I was saying they didn't give you the names of the people. Oh. But if you look at the picture and then read the name like that, they did put it in order. And here's an even closer look at their facial detail that you won't see in a toy. Their backdrop is the Shanghai Pursuit. When they were chasing Sideways, I think his name was. Whatever his name was, he only lived for about 10 seconds of screen time. Maybe 20. Here these things are while they're still in this display. I was able to get some siege effects onto Arcee right here. Alright, I don't want to complain about these things, but I guess I have to be authentic. I love that Hasbro wanted to keep these guys in scale. That's what the whole purpose of Studio Series is. And here you go with Bumblebee. So they would be about this tall. I don't know where I put Sam with Wiki, but he was the same height as this guy right here, as far as Human Alliance. And I guess this would be a realistic height comparison between a human and these bikes. In fact, you know what? That's scary. This is Big Spike, by the way, not Little Spike. This is technically Daniel, but Bumblebee was about 15 inches tall, and let's say if Spike was 6 feet tall, yeah, close enough. But anywho, it's nice what they were able to do with these guys in this scale, and it's nice that they gave us all three of them in a deluxe class box, but they aren't as fun as they could be if they were a bigger scale. Let me just put it to you like that. And also, they would probably be more fun if I had like a childlike mind or spirit. But, and I know these things are for ages 8 and up. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, 8 and up. But I wouldn't even recommend giving these to kids because ball joints. Once you experience all pin joint technology of Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy figures, going back to ball joints is very tough. And then on something this tiny, yes, these arms and stuff pop off very easy. And it's also highly difficult to maneuver the head around the like kibble and whatnot. The ball joint, I like them putting a ball joint down there, in theory would give them better articulation, but makes them harder to manipulate. But as you can see, they all come with these little stands so they can stand up because they have wheels for feet. And they can't stand up. Basically, with this one, you just put that in there. With this one, same deal. Put that in there. But with Elita 1, it's keyed, so you just slide it in like this. Unfortunately, that makes them stand straight up. And there's no room as far as posing. Like if you lean them forward too much, like in the movie, they were kind of like speed skaters or whatever, like leaned over and using their arms and whatnot to keep balance. But you can't pose them like that, standing straight up. So this is why I say it will be more for kids, because you can have fun, like moving them around with your daggone hand, but that's your only option. You got to keep these with you at all times. Do you see an 8-year-old doing that? No. Transforming this will also be difficult for an 8-year-old because nothing like pegs together, but you'll see that later. Let's look at Chromia Up Close. Zoomed in, I don't know how well you'll see it. I can see they tried to paint her eyes blue. Here's what she's looking like down here. I'm not sure whether this is supposed to be down or up. It looks like it's just straight out on the box. Here's the arm with a wheel for her hand. Yeah. Articulation. She bends right here. Bends right here. Bends right here. Rotates right here on the mushroom peg. It moves around like this on a ball joint. Ball jointed shoulder goes out, spins all the way around. Ball jointed elbow does what ball joints do. Elbow bends slightly. No, that's 90 degrees. This arm kind of drives me up the wall because what is this? Is this a hand? And like it's bent like that, but it's curved out that way. I want it to be this way, but then the elbow is backwards. So, yeah. And her head is on the same ball joint as Arcee and Chromia. Arcee. Here's the face on her. Vaguely looks like some type of female creature. It does that. Kind of tilts. And you see one problem. This is optional armor, I guess, to make her more movie accurate. But that shit doesn't click on at all. Her elbow is the sideways inward elbow, just like they like to do back in the day. You can turn it like this if you want. But then you have all this stuff exposed. Standport size holes. This moves up and down. This moves around. This arm doesn't go out as far as this arm because of the little notch on the shoulder. But sort of same articulation as Elita 1. Ball jointed up here. Mushroom peg right there. Can go up and down right here and then rotate down here. So I think she probably looks the best in these rolling poses and whatnot. But guess what? This is another fake part. Here is her real hand right here. So that's cool. I think I like the look of Arcee the best. I just hate this thing right here that just dangles in a way. And she's the only one that has, well, no, she has this weapon and this weapon. But Chromia has this blade weapon that's optional. Same type of articulation. I actually have the deluxe class Chromia. It's in a bag or something somewhere and I don't feel like getting it. I may review that thing one day. Did I review her? I don't think I did. Looks highly similar. I think this might have better articulation, to be honest. But same type of ball joint. Same mushroom peg. Same shift up here. But she doesn't have a lower movement down there like the other two. This wheel can rotate. And you could take this off, revealing the elbow is just like Arcee's. Let's see if she can fit this on here. Yeah. Arcee can have the blade. And let's see if Chromia can have this shoulder thing. Yes, you can. Do they have the same exact arm? Yes, they do, and I didn't notice that. So they want you to put that on this on Arcee, but it's blue like Chromia. Here's the back of Chromia. Make sure I show the back of Arcee. And I believe I did show the back of this. They're not terrible for what they are, and her outward motion on this arm is worse than Arcee's. But you definitely have to support them at all times if you want to play with them like the movie or put them in the cool poses like they did in the movie. Here's a comparison with a trio of Legions class figures like these are. These guys got a better end of the stick because they are actually more simple designs than these bike girls right here from the Bavers. You know those things look like monsters in every movie. But these also cost more than, they cost like 3 times the price of these $20 figures. Alright, now I'm gonna attempt to transform these folks. Starting with the hard one, Chromia. The main thing you want to do with all of them, it seems like, well, let me do this first. I'm going to rotate that way, rotate our head around, and shove it down that way. Now, the main thing it seems like you have to do with everyone is rotate the mushroom peg right there. Bring that down, rotate the waist like this. Well, actually, in her case, you don't need to rotate the upper part of the body. You just need to bring the arm up into this cavity right here, bring it down, rotate the wheel this way, make sure the head doesn't come back out. Or you know what, let's flip it this way. Now take this arm, rotate things, lift this up. Get this over here and push that down into there. And now you could gently set this here. I think the thing that's the most annoying is nothing really securely tabs. This securely tabs a little bit, but this back here, it just sits there. So now you have to have it right there, and she is a bike. The cool thing is, just like in the movie, it looked like it didn't really transform too much, but somehow magically you're able to get it into this shape of a bike. All of them seem to be able to sit on their side without any real kickstand. They have something that will help them stay up, which is cool. Oh, there she is. Gonna leave her there. Now let's go with Arcee. Take that stuff off if you have it on there. She's a little bit more difficult because of the way this works. You have to bend this forward, rotate that out like that. Okay. Now before we forget, I'm going to rotate this mushroom peg part, rotate her upper torso, bring these pink pieces forward like that. Now we're gonna, you can't really do anything with the head, but I'm gonna lift this up and over her head, bring this down, kinda peg these into here. They do not peg in well, just like I keep saying. It's more of a suggestion of a peg point. And bruh, that's getting on my nerves. Well, I see the problem. There is a peg right here that's supposed to come down. Yes, if you get that all the way down, this will be easier to have that right there. So it's like you gotta lightly get it there and then don't squeeze. Now, I'm gonna do something different with the arm. The arm, they say to leave like this, but I'm gonna put it down like this. It looks definitely like it's supposed to do that. Now we move this arm into position, pegging this into there. And boom. Now she's done. Now the instructions, like I was saying, it was saying to put the arm out like that. But that doesn't look right. So it definitely blends in better right here. But here's a problem. When you get it into the bike mode, if you squeeze it like at all, the whole effect just explodes. So it's like you gotta grab it at a certain angle. But here she is in her bike mode. Looks like a pink bike. Has these details right there. And since this keeps popping up, the front wheel is like turned the wrong way. So yeah, getting it perfect is highly freaking difficult. But yeah, this is the best I can do. I'm gonna put her down. Magically, like I said, something is molded in such a way where it will stay up. And now Elita 1. Pull that off. We're gonna go ahead and rotate this. Rotate the upper body. Bring things back. Open this up to get it out of the way. Bring things down. Get the arm out of the way. Move it, rotate this. When you can get the arm into this position right here, you've done it right. That lines up. You have this in this orientation right here. Push the head down, out of the way, and move the handlebar over here. On this side, you want to rotate the shoulder this way. Bring the arm out that way. Rotate this around. And this little tiny peg right here. I hope you can follow what I'm doing, because these things are so daggone small and fiddly. And this bends and goes into that area lightly. Now this lifts up and covers her head. You can adjust this how you see fit. But now she's a bite. This doesn't stay together well at all. Frustrating. But yeah, here you go. I think this is probably the worst looking bike, because this sits up too high, and then you have this thing looking like that. Got the arm hanging out right there, and the front does not want to clip together. It's frustrating, but just like the first two, stays there magically. If you have Human Alliance, Sam with Wiki. But in this case, I'm going to use Big Spike that came with freaking Masterpiece Hound. He sits there. You can position the arms decent enough. And boom, he pretty much scales with it. Sam doesn't have the elbow joints and whatnot, but yeah. And I think that looks cool. All right, let's end it with the car comparison. They're probably a tiny bit too big in vehicle mode. Yeah. There we go. Studio Series is rarely ever in scale when it comes to car mode, but robot mode, yeah. But yeah, these things are decently when it comes to these things, here's what you got to wrap your brain around. This is one $20 Studio Series figure. It's like they split this guy up into 3 vehicles and 3 robots. So yeah, if you don't think this is substantial enough, then imagine that they split that up into 3 robots and you get these. They're decent, or taking all that into consideration, they are very good in their robot mode, but the vehicle mode is where they definitely fail. I mean, they decently look like bikes and whatnot, and you see this look something like that is cool that you could do, but they don't hold together well at all. Like, as soon as you touch them, it's like they want to fall apart, and getting things to peg together like this, like before I started recording this, I was able to get it more decent than I have it here. Like, there we go. But it's like, if you breathe on it, it's going to explode. So that's what you got to take into consideration. So I definitely can't recommend these for kids unless they're teenagers, but then will they really want this? I guess if your kid really want it, yeah, go for it. Adult collectors, you'll have the same experience as me, where they can possibly look cool, but when you put them in their little stands, which is a nice gesture, you can't necessarily get them into their poses unless you do like I did with my little flight stand and take 20 minutes out of your life to get them stable enough to stand on that thing. And then I didn't have a spot for Chromia, so yeah. Anywho, thank y'all for watching this. There'll be a link in the description to where you can purchase these on Amazon if you want to go through that. T-Man978, out of here.